And he has the skills to have some impact on the next level.
So it should be a lot of fun. Michigan coming in at 6-2, SMU undefeated at 6-0 and not going to any postseason tournament. So this is huge for them. They've already termed it a statement game.
We take a look at SMU playing man-to-man. Look for Michigan to spread them out, find ways to get their perimeter guys loose with high screens, and they certainly rely on the three.
Levert, who's hitting 49% beyond the three-point line, off to Zach Irvin. Shot clock is down to 7. Irvin wants to take it toward the baseline and sealed off there by Kennedy. Shot clock's down to 1. Levert with a runner, but he can't hit it.
Solid defense by SMU. Michigan State never able to kind of penetrate. And on the other end, Michigan State plays man-to-man. SMU will try to play inside out with their size and skill on the blocks.
Kennedy working on Doyle. A little bump there, and around and out it goes. Big rebound by Ben Moore. A second effort. Frazier won't wait, and it's off the front of the iron. Brown comes away with another opportunity, and an official whistle, and a man down for SMU, and that's Kennedy. Marcus Kennedy, the 6'9" senior from Philadelphia. And in the first minute of play, he's hurt and grasping at that ankle. Kennedy averaging 12.6 rebounds a game. A huge guy in more ways than one for the Mustangs, Len.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, here's a guy that was preseason picked, make all-conference team, 6th man of the year last year. And the possibility of coming down after that offensive rebound might have rolled that ankle.
Wow. So, yeah, very gimpy and limping away. We'll take a look.
Take a look at the left hand on the foot of Ricky Doyle.
And so out he comes, and Jordan Tolbert, the 6'7" senior, they give away a lot of size here. Boy, Kennedy hobbling off that floor. Less than a minute into the game, a huge loss for SMU. Wonder if there's any chance for him to return tonight. There's a key man out for Michigan. That's Derek Walton Jr. He's out with an ankle injury and will not play tonight.
Both of these teams will have to turn, look down the bench and say next man up.
Moore locks one up there, and that clanks away. Doyle with the rebound. He's averaging 4 points, 3 rebounds a game. Dawkins high up on the wing. The 6'6" sophomore. Doyle on the high post. Shot clock down to 13. Michigan a hot shooting team, but can they get a good shot in the air?
Well, they can't penetrate the defense. They've been throwing the ball around the perimeter. This is one guy that can get in the paint.
One to get off a shot. The pass made, and there's a shot clock violation. They did not do a good job recognizing that shot clock for the second consecutive trip line.
And I'm really surprised at Karis LeVert. I think he did see it, but his inability to penetrate and get into the paint to create something ultimately resulted in that shot clock violation. On the other end, though, we talk about SMU and the loss of Marcus Kennedy. I guess the saving grace is their depth up front.
Jump shot from the corner by Sterling Brown, and he knocks that one down. So finally on the scoreboard, SMU with a triple. They've been a very good shooting team. They don't shoot a ton of threes, but they make the threes that they do take, hitting 44%.
Yeah, they do. And they play inside out, as I mentioned. If you're going to cheat inside and try to stop their bigs, they'll knock that shot down.
Dawkins, air ball, saved back to Doyle. LeVert comes in averaging 19 points a game. He's had an all-American kind of start. Abdur Rahman gets the first points of the night from Michigan. He's only averaging 3 a game. They need a lot more from him tonight.
They certainly do, and they need that kind of penetration to get into the teeth of that SMU defense, as Rahman did on that one.
Frazier on the spin move, pops it up there and hits. He's coming up a 23-point effort in the victory over New Hampshire, and also grabbed 8 rebounds.
Also hit 6 of 10 from beyond the arc. So Keith Frazier's the hot man.
Abdur Rahman with a hard drive and spins in too. Nicely done.
Again, second time in a row, Abdur Rahman's been able to get into the paint. And that's essentially what they need. Get SMU kind of peeling their defense back and open it up for the three-point shooters.
Oh, inside and a little bit too much there from Tolbert, and it's going to be knocked out of play off Michigan.
You know, Dave, talking about the loss of Marcus Kennedy, depth up front, when you can replace him with a Jordan Tolbert who's averaging 10 points, 8 rebounds, you got Ben Moore. You know, you've also got Jeray Foster, guys who can play up front.
Tolbert slapped away. Good defense by Doyle. Ted Valentine says he's on the line, so it's going the other way. It will be the Wolverines' ball. The 5 Wolverines are hitting at least 48% beyond the three-point line. This is a very, very good shooting team.
If they can get some daylight. SMU right now really taking the 3 away and giving that up. And Abdul Rahman taking full control here, getting into the paint. That's 3 times in a row now he's been able to get there and score.
Michigan with their first lead. Here are the opening minutes in Dallas. Down on the baseline, out high for Frazier. Tolbert trying to wriggle free inside, grabs his own miss. One dribble now to the inside, and finally got that one to go.
Jordan Tolbert, outstanding offensive rebounder, averaging about 4 per game. Over the last 3 games, he's averaged 6 offensive rebounds. And I believe SMU believes that that's their strength right now, second chance opportunities.
Rockman looking inside, he's 6'4". The handoff for LeVert. Shot clock again becoming an issue. It's down to 6 as he launches, and it's around and out. Battle for the rebound. Mustangs have it. A very, very balanced SMU scoring attack. Here's one of the more who averages 12 points a game. Got the shot he wanted, but couldn't get it to fall. Urban on the move, fires it up and hits it. The SMU bench wanted to walk there.
I tell you what, Zach Irvin now starting to round into shape. Had some back issues, had a procedure over the summer. Really hasn't been himself. This is a guy that had 27 double-figure games last year. Averaging only 7 points a game.
Only 7. They're waiting for him to start to get hot again. That's going to be a foul off the ball going against Sterling Brown of SMU. So it's 8-7. Early going here from Dallas tonight.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Pizza Hut's Triple Treat Box. Make any night a holiday.
Michigan with the 8-7 lead over number 19 SMU. Dave O'Brien, Len Elmore with you. Len, take us to your 3 questions, your 3 big question marks for Michigan at this point.
Well, in a global view, you take a look at Michigan. This game, does it represent their toughest challenge, non-conference challenge? Despite the fact they lost to Xavier and UConn, this team, SMU, represents teams like Purdue, Maryland, teams they're going to have to beat. Can LeVert carry this team all season? So far, he's been able to do it. Outstanding player. And the front court, they're going to have to do a better job. They average about 8 offensive rebounds a game, which is last in the Big Ten. And that's not going to cut it. when you're playing against teams that have the power inside that I mentioned in the Big Ten, like the Purdue's, the Maryland's, the Michigan States, of course.
4 of 7 Michigan field goals have come with under 10 seconds on the shot clock. Good stop there by Frazier underneath on the stuff.
Wow, Mo Wagner had an opportunity to dunk that ball. Instead, he laid it up and allowed the smaller Frazier to block it. Got to be aggressive as soon as you get off that bench.
Morris swings it up for Frazier. He catches, fires, and can't hit. And Robinson comes away with the rebound. Duncan Robinson, a 6'8" sophomore, who is shooting the lights out.
Yeah, he is as pure a shooter as you'll find in college basketball. And he's not just a shooter. He can put it on the floor. He can get to the basket.
Been hitting 59.5% of his threes.
Got a mismatch. Robinson had Nick Moore on him. It's only 5'10".
Shot clock again is down to 5. Wagner stumbling and traveling. So the young man from Berlin, Germany gives it away.
Well, that's a case of trying to make too much happen. He got his shot blocked in the first touch that he had. And here on the second, he's trying to make something happen. You got to be aggressive, but you have to be under control.
Last year, SMU sweeping the American Conference regular season and tournament championships. On their way to the NCAA tournament, there'll be no postseason play whatsoever. And Larry Brown suspended the first 9 games because of NCAA rules violations. Moore into the lane, one-handed, barely nicked the iron, a foul on the floor there. SMU is appealing certain NCAA sanctions, but not the 9-game suspension of Larry Brown or the imposed postseason ban, mainly for a player receiving fraudulent course credit. NCAA said Brown had no knowledge of the violation, but was punished because he was not truthful with the enforcement staff and failed to report violations and for lack of guidance on rules compliance. Frazier on the wing and traveling. He gives it right back over to Michigan. 13 and a half minutes to go here in the first half in Dallas.
Well, on this trip down, a couple of opportunities that Michigan had the last time they possessed the ball. They certainly had a mismatch when Nick Moore was switched out on Duncan Robinson, who's 6'8", Nick Moore only 5'10". Michigan's got to do a good job of recognizing those mismatches and take advantage.
Irvin swings. Here's Robinson's first one. Oh, net. You talked about how sweet that stroke is.
Man, that is picture perfect. Not only is the elevation, release, and the rotation, that all equals string music.
Wolverine starting to catch fire here. Moore to lock it up there. More of a line driver. Big rebound on the baseline, and that'll be up and in.
Well, SMU just fights to get outstanding position on the offensive glass. And again, they recognize that's their strength. Second chance opportunity.
That ended a 9-2 run. And tightens it up to a 2-point game. Irvin, cross court. Robinson faked it. The follow-in. That will drop for him for his second effort. Right away, Irvin right back up there. Mustangs on the attack. Coming in ranked number 19, undefeated. Tolbert gets position underneath. They'll stuff it in.
Well, you're right about that, Dave. He got excellent position. Wagner got on the high side, and he was locked.
Senior averaging 10.5 points and 8 rebounds. He's been their best rebounder.
And that's what I mean by playing inside out. SMU more than willing to take the open jumper, but their first look is inside, forcing defenders to have to adjust.
Levert wants to operate. Blew right by his man. The dipsy-do won't fall. He had the scoop layup but missed it. And a quiet start for him so far, the Michigan star.
Nevertheless, Michigan tied right now by virtue of Abdul Rahman's ability to get into the paint.
Hilton, good look. Yes.
They call him Shake.
The Shake can bake too. 56% beyond the three-point line for the season.
I'm glad I left you that opening, bro.
Like the great partner you are, Irvin. Got an excellent look himself. It's deep into the corner. And Wagner comes away for the second chance. Cross court, Irvin. LeVert back to Irvin.
Take a look at the double. Every time they try to make penetration, see a double team shutting the ball handler off.
LeVert off the back iron. And one and done there. Foster pulling away to rebound. Talented freshman out of Houston. Moore leaning in and a whistle. And a foul will go against SMU as Robinson took the shot.
We talked about the inside play of SMU, how they play inside out. Here's the inside part of it. Look at the lock, the spin, and the flush. And when you want to talk about the outside of it, here they go, inside out, the three. And that's why SMU has the lead. Let's do the sanctions. Yeah, I was going to say.
That'd be hilarious if you guys just kept moving them around.
Where's Fran? Where's Waldo? Where's Fran?
That D really pops.
Oh.
Number 19, SMU on top of Michigan, 14-11 here in the first half. Len Elmore and Dave O'Brien with you. SMU NCAA sanctions. We've already touched on this for multiple rules violations. Came down pretty late on September 29th, well into the class schedule. That includes loss of scholarships, recruiting restrictions. We mentioned they are appealing some of these sanctions, but not Larry Brown, who is out for the first 9 games of the season. So the assistant, Tim Jankovic, is taking over the team until Larry Brown returns again after 9 games. Always strange to come in when there's a festive environment, but the team isn't going to postseason play.
No, they aren't. And look, academic fraud is a serious offense. It destroys the mission of college sports. Now, the bottom line is it's a harsh penalty, but it's necessary to act as a deterrent. Now, unfortunately, the impact on these really innocent players has been unduly harsh and unfortunate. Now, from the standpoint with Larry, you know, he was punished for not maintaining control over his program and the initial fabrication. Ultimately, he took responsibility. But you've heard people talk about firing him, and I just think that that's a case-by-case situation. I'm biased. Larry Brown has extraordinary redeeming value. The way he develops players, the way players feel about him, and I think that's what the administration did, check with the players.
Robinson off the back of the iron, and that's 6 consecutive misses now for the Michigan Wolverines. Suddenly, they've gone very cold.
Let me explain why I'm biased.
You
played for him.
Yeah.
And I know exactly what he brings to the table. Outstanding coach, an outstanding person. But yes, he made a mistake.
You played for him in the NBA. Back up top for Frazier. Here's Milton, the freshman from Oklahoma. The shot clock down to 6. Wants to shoot it. Here's Karis LeVert now, the senior, having a superb season to date. He's also done it against quality teams like 29 against Xavier. Xavier's got a marvelous basketball team.
Yeah, Xavier's one of those teams that a lot of people don't really credit, but they've been outstanding in their growth. And they've demonstrated again that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the Big East.
Boy, once again, that shot clock way down to 3. Rockman has to lock it up there. Could not beat the shot clock. That's the second time that's happened to them.
Well, SMU essentially has set up a picket fence. They are not allowing any penetration inside. I talked about, you know, Abdur Rahman, his ability to penetrate. He's 3 of 3. All of them penetration inside the 3-point line. Michigan 1 of 6 from beyond the arc. SMU has pretty much taken their game away after, Abdul-Rahman's exploration in the paint.
Spike Albrecht getting ready to check in for Michigan. He's coming off double hip surgeries. Frazier off a great fake. Tolbert trying to get that position underneath, locked up a bit. The swing into the corner. Here's Foster. Yes, a triple.
I was going to say, it was almost 3 seconds on Tolbert. He got rid of the ball and got out of the lane.
So SMU with Foster coming off the bench, a nice lift on a 10-0 run.
And again, bears repeating, Michigan averaging 10 3-pointers per game, 3-pointers made. They are 1 of 6 from the field right now. Their game on the offensive end has been totally taken away. None of the ball handlers can even turn the corner.
Knocked away, a clean theft from Foster. Now they tangle up on the deck, and what a steal that turned out to be.
Travels. 2 travels.
Under Rockman got to the other end. Chapman will hit that one. That's pointer. Cameron Chapman, the sophomore.
Both teams got away with one. SMU with a travel and Michigan with a travel, but it worked out to Michigan's benefit. They finally knocked down 3.
Yeah, they had missed 8 consecutive shots. 17-13 SMU. In front of a packed house here on campus. Frazier over the top. Tough catch there, and he's on the line. Sterling Brown unable to get back in play. 7:48 to go. SMU, in what has been a game of runs, has the lead, 17-13.
SMU women's basketball returns to Moody Coliseum in 2016 when they open American Athletic Conference play against Temple. Tuesday, January the 5th at 7 p.m. You can get your tickets by calling the SMU ticket office at 214-768-4263. All right, Mustang fans, it's time to get on your feet and get loud for the Bank of Texas T-shirt toss. Bank of Texas, long live your life.
Yep. They beat Washington last night, right?
Yeah.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Guitar Hero Live. Real crowds, real reactions. Available now.
Back in Big D, SMU with a 17-13 lead over Michigan. A lot of stars coming out, including Tony Romo, the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. They're coming off a huge win last night against Washington. And guess who he's chatting with? The one and only Fran Fraschilla of ESPN. We talk about all the stars coming out when Franny's here. He's setting Romo straight on a couple of things.
Did he pay for that ticket?
I highly doubt it. There's carte blanche in any basketball arena Fran does in America. 7:48 left in the first half. The Wolverines have faced SMU just once before. That was last December at Ann Arbor, a 62-51 loss. So they had trouble scoring in that one.
Right now, John Beilein has gone to his bench trying to get, someone who can get on track and knock down some shots.
Chapman with a miss.
And SMU, on the other hand, we talked about the depth, particularly when Marcus Kennedy went out. They came off the bench with Jordan Tolbert, Jeray Foster, and Shake Milton, and those guys have scored a ton of their points, 12 of the 17. And they shot 5 for 7 from the field.
Nick Moore jitterbugging into the lane. It rolls in. Nice touch for the reigning American Conference Player of the Year. That's his first basket.
SMU pleased to get Nick Moore on track. And I think Michigan, when given the opportunity, would love to see Karis LeVert get on track. He was an OFA right now.
Albrecht with a catch and shot. Yeah, he hits the triple.
Well, Spike Albrecht, the guts and the heart of this Michigan team. He's been a winner his whole career with them. Sidelined by a couple of hip surgeries, just trying to get back in shape.
Towards the open shooter, can't stick it. Big rebound for Tolbert.
Another offensive rebound for Jordan Tolbert.
He's been their best rebounder. He can really score around the basket too, and you can see why with those hops. And a bad pass there, and nearly a turnover. Shot clock down to 10 now for the Mustangs. Now down to 7. Frazier with a little bump. That's going to be an offensive foul. A little push-off before he hit it. A Saturday on ESPN at 3:15. Kentucky squares off with Arizona State. And then in a journey to the tourney, presented by Sonic, it's North Carolina taking on Texas. Both games also streaming live on Watch ESPN.
Well, Karis LeVert back in the ball game for Michigan. After getting some bench time to gain some perspective. You know, they really need him to get going.
All of those NBA scouts making notes here in the first half. Walton is on the bench. Derek Walton Jr. out with a turned ankle. He's missing his second consecutive game and will not play tonight. Duncan Robinson off to Urban. Trying to use the screen and a jump pass to LeVert. His jumper. He was open. Bottled up down low. Knocked out of the hands of Ricky Doyle. Big sophomore.
Ricky Doyle's got to be aware now that Nick Moore is not just going to stand there and allow him to get a rebound uncontested. At 5'10", he's going to be in there digging. Doyle's got to be able to grab the rebound, keep it above his shoulders.
5:42 left in the first half.
Make himself his full 6'10".
Robinson misfiring there. SMU by 3, playing on their home floor. More slamming on the brakes. Frazier's jump shot. Yes!
Boy, how about Keith Frazier? You talk about pure jump shooters. He's got that one dribble pull-up down to a science.
He's a Dallas kid, a local product.
Once again, Michigan unable to really make any penetration whatsoever, although they keep trying to force it. Just tight defense by SMU. There you go, inside.
Down to 5. Doyle into the double team, and he is traveling. Now back to Frazier.
Well, again, you take a look at Moore using that high screen, a little skip pass, and right there, just a one dribble pull-up freezes a defender. And Keith Frazier, he's another pure shooter.
SMU 6-0, 3 hard-fought wins. Jump shot from the wing, too strong by Milton. Battle for the rebound, and Doyle tears it away.
Good to see some aggressiveness from the front line of the Michigan Wolverines. They've got to match what SMU's bringing to the table up front.
Robinson lead for a clean look. Albrecht gets one. Another fight for the rebound, and Doyle over the back and picks up the personal foul.
And if I'm John Beilein, I don't have a big problem with that particular foul, because at least Doyle is going to the glass with some aggression, looking for a second chance opportunity. He can't be the only one. Take a look at the shot right there. He is thoroughly blocked out, but still trying to make an effort. You don't like to see a habit made of that, but you want him to maintain that aggression.
Coach Beilein's team having a devil of a time getting a close shot. They've taken more threes, 13, than 2-point shots. 9 of those. Brown had it stripped away, and the clean theft by Urban. A great save as well. Dawkins will give it up. Irvin with a jump and a shot and all net.
And we talked about Zach Irvin coming back from back issues, and he averaged almost 15 points a game last year, 27 double-figure games. They'd like to see him rounding in the shape and getting on track.
Moore, yes, knocks in a three. Could be so dangerous out there. 42% from three. So SMU's hit 4 out of 7 beyond the three-point line, and they lead it 24-18. Abdur Rahman around the baseline. Picked off by SMU. Milton gives it up. Brown. Moore steps into a three. Timeout, Michigan. It doesn't take long for Nick Moore, does it?
Certainly doesn't. Can you play better inside out? And when you got a guy like Nick Moore, it's nice outside.
And it's now time for tonight's Winners Wellness Contest, presented by Climate Evangelista Eye Center. Josh will be blindfolded and needs your help to try to find Baruga to win an SMU basketball prize bet. All right, hey, let's help him out. Here we go, Josh, you ready? On your mark, get set, go! Climate Evangelista is your LASIK specialist and proud sponsor of SMU basketball.
Matt, we'll see you then. 27-18. SMU has opened it up a little bit, and Nick Moore has scored 6 points in the last 22 seconds left.
Well, these are the kinds of plays inside out that break your back. Take a look at Keith Frazier with the ball right here. Now he's going to pass it to the trailer, Sterling Brown. Now take a look. Nick Moore finally comes in to the play, and Moore steps up and knocks down a three about 3 feet beyond the line, but gives Sterling Brown a lot of credit for turning down what would have been a pretty good shot to get an outstanding shot. And as I said, those are the things that take an opponent's heart away.
Moore, one of the top point guards in the country, but he can really score it too. He had 26 in their victory over TCU recently. Michigan looking for a hot hand. It was wide open on a give from LeVert, who's an excellent passer.
Yeah, coming out of a timeout, obviously John Beilein drew up something that his team could certainly execute that time. And they caught SMU in mid-rotation. A nice job.
So rolling to the basket on a give from Moore for an easy dunk.
Payback is something else right there. When the bigs step out to try to help on the screen, you better watch for the roll if you're the weak side.
We'll see if LeVert can get going before halftime. He has 2:25 before the break, and it's going to be a double dribble. So turnover.
Well, that time the help came from the weak side to cover. But here you see the step out real quick. And once the step out came, the weak side gets them much too late. If the big is going to step out and try to help off the screen, weak side better step in the paint and cover, because both of these teams are outstanding passing teams.
Over the top and slammed in by Tolbert.
Did I say outstanding passing teams?
Yes, and unselfish.
19 and a half assists. That's what the SMU Mustangs average per game. They are as unselfish as you get.
They have their biggest lead here in the first half, up by 11. So a bit of a danger zone for the Wolverines. Dawkins swings it. Slamming on the brakes, over with a turnaround and couldn't get it to go.
I think Frazier got a piece of that.
He did. More off the fake. Frazier hits it, a three-pointer.
Man, I'm telling you right now, we said at the beginning of the telecast, this is a statement game for SMU, not going to the postseason, playing a nationally recognized team like Michigan, and they are playing as sharp, as crisp as you can possibly play.
LeVert cannot quiet the crowd. It's standing room only here tonight.
So far, SMU playing mid-season form, tournament-like basketball.
A hard drive, no basket. They'll wave that off. The foul came before the shot, but he beat his defender. LeVert will pick up the personal. With 59 seconds to go, SMU rolling. NBA Wednesday presented by State Farm coming your way at ESPN at 7 Eastern. The Bulls and the Celtics, and at 9:30 the Hawks and the Mavs. We talked about all the NBA scouts in attendance here tonight. And Nick Moore's given them something to think about at 5'9", a senior from Indiana. Off the screen, Tolbert again rolls inside. He may have had another dunk right in his hands, but knocked out of play and deflected off of Michigan.
Again, Michigan covered up pretty well with that one, but once again, in the high screens and the big steps out, the slip or the roll is going to leave the big guy open in the paint. You better cover up.
SMU with a timeout and on top by 14. SMU catching fire and now lead by 14 points and scoring from many different angles.
Yeah, I mean, their ability to play inside out here on the alley-oop as Nick Moore gets past the front line and penetrates. And then a nice job right there, just crisp passing. And Frazier with no hesitation from beyond the arc. And that's what I mean by real sharp execution. Now they're shooting about 54%, although they turn it over here.
Dawkins with the theft, trying to get inside the reach-in foul. And they'll get more reaching in with 33.9 seconds before halftime. And Saturday, it's the Heisman Trophy presentation in New York, presented by Nissan at 8 Eastern. Alabama's Derrick Henry, Stanford's Christian McCaffrey, and Clemson's Deshaun Watson are the finalists. Who are you taking, Len?
I got to go with Derrick Henry. I've seen the most of him. And there are times when they're giving him the ball, he's a man among boys. Not to say the other two guys aren't deserving.
Oftentimes carrying it, 40 times. Carrying the load there for the Tide. These, by the way, are the first foul shots for either team here in the first half.
They've been allowing them to play for sure, but Michigan relegated to shooting jump shots. And SMU really has had their way inside with no physical resistance by Michigan.
Deep into the corner, the catch by Foster. Pass inside for Tolbert. Man, is he making his presence felt here.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, no physical resistance at all. Not pushing the guy off the block, not going after the shot.
It's exactly what John Beilein was telling his team in no uncertain terms after that basket. Time to get physical. Levert inside for Doyle. That hook will find the mark. And that's how the first half comes to an end.
Well, he is an amazing offensive rebounder. Averaging in the last 3 games 6 offensive rebounds a game, halfway there with 3 in that first half.
And John Beeline knew all about him. He told you and I at the shoot-around, said that's ridiculous how many offensive rebounds he's getting.
Yeah, overall, I mean, SMU out-rebounding Michigan 20-8, including 8-4 on the offensive glass.
So the Mustangs open up with a basketball. Tolbert immediately rolling inside and draws a foul. We had only 7 fouls committed in the first half. It really zipped. That one will go on Ricky Doyle.
And we talk about SMU, 36 points. Bench scored half of that, and they were able to score those 36 points without taking 1 free throw.
And here it comes, the first foul shots for the Mustangs tonight. Tolbert, the senior, and the transfer from Texas Tech. He averages about 10.5 points and 8 rebounds a game. He is a 65% foul shooter.
That may be one way to stop him.
Yeah.
You got to foul him.
Might be the game plan. This is a matchup of 2 good shooting teams, as we mentioned, but first half SMU shot 56%.
And SMU has been able to really have their way, particularly inside. That set the tone. As I mentioned, no real physical resistance by Michigan. They've got to get more aggressive.
Zach Urban. Duncan thought about the 3. He's outstanding out there. This is the biggest lead of the game.
And SMU doing a terrific job of closing on shooters, really making it difficult.
Fired in the corner, Robinson lets fly, and he hits it. That's like a layup for him.
Yeah, if you don't close on him, it's lights out.
And again, coming into this one, shooting off the charts from three-point land, 59.5% for the sophomore out of Newcastle, New Hampshire.
That was the first field goal for Michigan, including the first half. 4 minutes.
Another slam for guess who? Tolbert again.
And if Michigan persists in trying to help off the screens, Tolbert is going to slip those screens, and he's going to wind up with a path to the basket.
Knows what to do with it. 5 dunks for him. Urban straight on, banked it in. And not even a hint of a grin.
They're only down 11. They have a chance, obviously, to make a comeback if they can heat up from the outside.
Michigan makes 49%. Not a typical night. 46% beyond the three-point line. So they can get him back in a hurry. Urban with the feed for Doyle off the fake and hooks it in. That's a new shot for him, that little jump hook. He's got it down.
He certainly has. He's got the length and the width of the shoulders to keep defenders off him.
So Michigan's cut it to 9. More off for Brown. Wants the lane. Floats up and rolls it in.
A good answer for SMU instead of settling for the jump shot after 2 consecutive field goals by Michigan. You know, they execute once again and get a high percentage shot.
Urban airborne. That's going to be goal time. Count that basket. Tolbert got up there but touched it.
And Dave, if there's a weakness to this SMU team by comparison to last year, it's that they don't have a real rim protector. You see the ball hit the glass and then contact made by Tolbert. Last year, Yannick Herrera was the shot blocker for that team, among the leaders in the American Athletic Conference. This year, they don't really have a shot blocker.
And a big man out right now, Marcus Kennedy. Brown wants to slice through the defense. A foul. With 17:29 to go in the second half. They'll get Duncan Robinson for that one.
And you know, I like the approach of the Mustangs. I mean, they shot the ball real well in the first half, 6 of 9 from beyond the arc. But they came out here in the second half as Michigan started to make a move. They didn't settle for jumpers. They're trying to put pressure on the Michigan defense.
The SMU coaching staff is very impressed by how this team shares the ball. You touched on in the first half how easy it would do given their circumstances. No postseason, the restrictions because of the NCAA and the rules violation. For these guys to just go out and get their own. They have not done that. They have not become a selfish team. As that one is tipped out of play with 17:13 to go. It'll be Michigan basketball.
No, they've rallied around the sanctions and the unfairness, particularly to the seniors who will never have a chance to play again in a postseason game. And, you know, that's a tribute to the leaders on this team.
Levert in traffic, harassed. Here comes Moore. Lightning quick on the bounce feed for Frazier. Won't go, but who's on the iron again? Jordan Tolbert again, 6 dunks. Wow.
And that's when you get a pat on the back to the big fella running the floor, taking nothing for granted.
Well, he has been a huge spark tonight. Robinson, yes, another 3.
You just love watching that man shoot. Good grief.
Averages 11.5 off the bench. He sprang up from a 5'6" freshman at Governor's Academy in Massachusetts to a 6'5" senior who could really score. Bounce feed underneath. It's Tolbert again to hook in. 2 more.
And let's give Ben Moore a lot of credit with that interior pass and that bounce pass. That's emblematic of what SMU does. They share the ball. They get it to the guy with the best possible look.
That's been Tolbert over and over, hasn't it? 17 points for him. Jankovic told us he's explosive and athletic. Well, he's proven to be both of those things tonight here in Dallas.
Good cover by Ben Moore inside as Doyle broke free after the help by Tolbert.
Irvin with a miss.
And didn't allow a layup.
Nick Moore trying to get by Levert. Tough angle. Tipped. Brown went up. Denied on that play. It's a traveling violation. He went up and down.
Well, this game has been Jordan Tolbert's game. Take a look here on the miss of the layup. Tolbert running the floor. Cleans up the mess. And again, give the big fella a lot of credit for pushing him up the floor. And then there's the help. Excellent pass by Moore. Under the basket. Is there something he can't do?
Tonight's Benny King, good sport designated driver of the game, is Frank Smith. Congratulations, Frank. You won an SMU champion, courtesy of Benny King. Come on the marketing table to pick up your jacket. Benny King and SMU Athletics remind you to...
Michigan has cut in a little bit. They were down 14 at half, now trailing by 10 here at SMU. Please help us beat cancer. Log on to www.jimmyv.org right now or call 1-800-4JIMMY-V to donate. All donations will benefit the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Such a big week for us, big time of the year for us at ESPN with Jimmy V Week. And we certainly hope you'll help us beat cancer.
Michigan's been able to cut into that lead a bit because they've heated up from beyond the arc. Just 2 of 14 in the first half. They're 3 of 4 here in the second half.
Irvin trying to dish and throw it away. Picked off by Ben Moore.
Boy, the footwork of Ben Moore defensively. He had a nice job of anticipating that pass, using his feet rather than his arms to get to that and make that interception.
SMU has a number of guys like Ben Moore. They're very solid guys. They can score, they can rebound, defend, they can hit the three. Boy gets bumped, and Nick Moore just missed that one. He'll go to the line. Getting hit by Abdur-Rahman. And tonight on ESPN, after Maryland takes on UConn, it's Sports Center at night with Scott Van Pelt. SVP will have all the highlights, breakdowns, and the rest of college hoops, plus the NBA and NHL. Also streaming live on Watch ESPN.
Dave, you nailed it. I mean, talk about guys like Nick Moore, and we talk about some of the other players like Marcus Kennedy, but it's those guys like the Ben Moore, like Jordan Tolbert, guys who do the dirty work underneath. You know, they'll continue to move the ball, find open men, and also the ability to play some defense that really pushes SMU beyond just being mediocre. This is a very good team.
Sterling Brown's another one of those guys. Big blow by there by Abdur-Rahman with a full head of steam.
That's how we began the first half. The only one who could penetrate.
Moore fires. Boy, he loves that play. As soon as this big one on the other end, back he comes in. He really sticks it with that three-pointer.
Well, he gets you on your heels as he drives towards you, and then pulls up on a stop and knocks that three down.
50-37. LeVert. Can he create something for himself here in this half? He'll drive it. Quick move, but can't get it to go. Doyle blocked out of the sky by Ben Moore, and they retain the basketball. Up ahead, Frazier's three. Yes! Now the Wolverines land are in deep trouble.
They certainly are. As I mentioned, first half, 13 minutes, 18 seconds, Michigan had a 4-point lead. And from then on, SMU stampede.
Another run, this one 10-2.
As a result of some good defense, Keith Frazier, the beneficiary, open three. Wow.
It's time to stay on your feet. It's time for the Bank of Texas Dance Camp. Bank of Texas, more than your money.
(53-37). SMU party time here with 13:55 to go in Dallas. Tolbert and Nick Moore and Frazier combined for 40 points, and they've outscored Michigan just that triumvirate 40-37.
25 points from the bench. 17 for Jordan Tolbert, who came off to replace the injured Marcus Kennedy.
Now LeVert has not scored tonight. He came into the game needing 23 to get to 1,000.
At the beginning of telecast, I talked about the fact that all eyes would be on him. Unfortunately, in a dubious way, all eyes have been on him. waiting for him to kind of register some points.
Poked away by Frazier. Michigan will keep it 15 on the shot clock.
But make no mistake, Karis LeVert is a better player than this. It's a combination maybe of the SMU defense and maybe him pressing a little too hard.
Just got Frazier for a technical foul. And that must have been because of something he said. Let's take another look. It's right on the sideline after he poked it away. So technical foul, and LeVert will go to the other end to shoot now for Michigan. Officials tonight: Mark Whitehead, Ted Valentine, and John Gaffney.
Now, if I'm Keith Frazier and I'm taking pride in the fact that I'm shutting this young man down, Karis LeVert, why do I give him an easy one by talking nonsense? You know, that's the kind of thing that wakes up, you know, a sleeping dog.
Frazier's not a freshman, he's a junior. And a Dallas kid.
But again, you understand the emotion. This is a statement game for SMU. No postseason for them. So they're putting all their emotion into this thing.
Robinson buries another three. Said he took countless hours of shots in the gym back in high school. 1,600 shots a day.
And here's Michigan 1-3-1 pressure.
Slammed in by Ben Moore. So much for the pressure.
If you don't pressure the ball, you're going to be in trouble because Nick Moore finds a way to get easy shots for his teammate. With the athleticism of that SMU back line, you cannot set up a press like that without covering Moore.
Well, they've shown that tonight, haven't they? Corner jumper knocked down under Rockman, who has been a bright light tonight, certainly for the Wolverines. One of the few, hasn't he, with 11.
And now you see the extension of that 1-3-1 as Karis LeVert with his length going out there covering Moore.
Over to the lane, over the top, slammed in by Tolbert. They can't stop him in this one. 19. And you'd be 9 out of 10 if every shot you took was right on top of the rim.
Tell you what, you love playing with a guard like that. It'll keep your hands full.
Long distance jumper, badly off target by Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman. 57-45 SMU. Hilton up top. Ben Moore to the baseline and bumped and fouled.
Well, if they're going to come out and guard him, you better stay in front of him. And Nick Moore jitterbugs his way to the paint and delivers it nicely so Jordan Tolbert could finish.
Throw it up there about 2 feet over the rim, and he's going to find it and slam it down. The foul went on Robinson. That's 7 dunks for Tolbert tonight.
And what an unbelievable find. Transfer from Texas Tech. Sat out last year, averaged about 11 points, 6+ rebounds for Texas Tech.
Stolen away by LeVert. Could not get the layup to go. Nice save on the baseline by Dawkins. Here's LeVert's jumper, and it rolls out. Boy, he was in the cylinder, but quickly thrown away by the Mustangs.
Well, Tolbert thought he saw one of his teammates there.
Boy, LeVert can't get anything. He can't buy it tonight.
Those last 2 shots did everything but go in for Karis LeVert. But you know what? He cannot stop shooting. It will be to the detriment of his team if he stops shooting. Eventually, he's going to connect.
0 for 11. Tolbert with another slam. Boy, this is becoming a bit ridiculous how easy it is for him, huh?
As I mentioned before, there is no physical resistance to Jordan Tolbert inside. No one's put a body on him. No one's kept him from going to the spots he wants to go to underneath. With a guy like that, you've got to be physical with him. Get him away from where he's comfortable.
It's been Jordan Tolbert's personal slam dunk show tonight. Thrown away by Michigan. Turned over back to the Mustangs.
As you mentioned, Dave, getting a little ridiculous right now. You talk about the Tolbert slam delivered by Ben Moore. Tolbert with one flush. Here's another view. Man, that man is tough.
fans, it's Papa John's Pizza Time. These fans are receiving delicious pizza from Papa John's. Papa John's has a slam dunk deal for you. Every Saturday game day all season long. Get 50% off your online order at papajohns.com with promo code SMU50. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
SMU with the same lead they had at halftime, Len, 59-45, 14-point advantage here now at 11:02 to go. But Tolbert has been just spectacular.
Yeah, near perfect from the field, 10 of 11. I'm trying to figure out which of those 11 shots he missed. It's just like everything is 1 foot from the rim, 2 feet above the rim. If you notice, though, not one Michigan player has put a body on Tolbert, taking him away from his comfort zone on many of these dunks. He's been able to get behind the defensive line. He's been able to post up and make moves out of it and still get to the rim.
21 points, 9 rebounds, and we've got him for 9 dunks. And a lot of credit, and you've been certain to give it to Nick Moore to make sure he finds him as the open dunker.
As I said, I mean, it's a big man's dream to play with a guy like Nick Moore. Will get it to you where you can use it.
Foster on the attack, and he'll draw the foul. Ray Foster, a freshman from Houston, fouled by Robinson. That's going to be the 4th on Duncan Robinson.
And it was Jure Foster who mentioned in the papers today how this was a statement game. They couldn't go to the postseason, that playing against a Big Ten team like this, they wanted the nation to know how good a team they were. And when we talked to Tim Jankovich, Tim gave us that incredulous look. The freshman said that?
Freshman said that? Really? Did he really say that?
I'll tell you what, though. They're backing up those words. Lucky for the freshmen.
Yeah. 4th season as the associate head coach. Taking over for Larry Brown for the first 9 games of the season.
But let's not forget, this is not Tim Jankovich's first rodeo. He was a head coach at North Texas as well as Illinois State. 9 years, 157 wins.
Second effort here by Sterling Brown. His team continues to play very, very well. And with a victory tonight, they'll be 7-0. Milton. The bounce feed for Brown. Here's Frazier. We had that technical foul just a few minutes ago. Shot clock down to 5. Frazier's shot off balance. Brown trying to keep it alive. He did. Foster goes in and draws the foul. Under Rockman with the personal. That's his second. 10:21 left.
Talk about rebounding, though. It's unbelievable. Difference in rebounds. SMU was 30 rebounds to Michigan's 12.
And keep in mind, this is without Marcus Kennedy, 6'9" senior, who went down in the first minute of play with a turned ankle.
And Marcus Kennedy is a guy who gives them a lot as well. He can score down low. He's an excellent passer. But the bench and the depth of SMU has really come to fore.
The crowd has been terrific here tonight as well. Standing room only. Long distance Dawkins. Yes, that'll rattle in. Aubrey Dawkins, the son of the former Duke star and current Stanford head coach, Johnny Dawkins.
And Aubrey Dawkins is a pretty good three-point shooter. About 48% coming into this game. He's the kind of guy who needs to step up in the big game situations.
Brown with the roll, slams on the brakes. Nice touch in close.
So Michigan just having a hard time stopping any type of offensive execution by SMU. And they're getting a high percentage shots. They're not just settling for threes.
Rockman gives it off, another corner jumper, but that one didn't touch anything from Dawkins. And he'll hear it from the crowd. And Karis LeVert 0 for 11 from the field. So the Michigan Star has been shut down. Has yet to make a field goal. Came in averaging 19 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. It really was having a great season until tonight. Tolbert, how do they not know exactly where he is? 23 points.
And I think John Beeline's asking the same question. And they really have pulled out the stops defensively. I'm not sure what else Michigan can do right now. They've shown them everything. They've gone man, they've gone zone, they've gone 1-3-1 zone pressure. Nothing has seemed to work.
Shot clock to 7. Urban on the crossover. Tried the window and came up empty. Brown gets off the pass. Little razzle dazzle. Frazier can't cash in. And Dawkins grabs the rebound. 65-48 coming up in the 8-minute mark. All SMU here tonight on their home floor in Dallas. And all Jordan Tolbert, who's been a huge story for the Mustangs. LeVert still can't make a jump shot, but a foul on that play. LeVert gets drilled by Frazier.
Well, you wonder where it is. There's Jordan Tolbert right there. He's got a man on him. And then Abdul-Rahman just leaves him. He's trying to cover the corner. And as he leaves, Tolbert follows. And he gets right in the space where he can do damage.
So LeVert at the line, a very, very good foul shooter, typically. But it's just not his night. 89% from the line. Tolbert will take a seat. And to a big, big ovation, and he earned all of that. In and out. Boy, he missed both of them. He's just had a horrible night.
You got all these NBA scouts in attendance. Certainly, they came here to see Karis LeVert.
Here's Foster. Can't stick it.
But you know what? When you're watching him play, yes, he's missing shots.
Fouled on this play. He'll be at the line for 2 more.
But there's got to be other things that he's doing that's going to draw their attention. Everybody has a bad night.
Foster fouls him. 7:44 to go in the game. SMU up big here at home. Yes, sir.
What a shot, A or B. And your section number. The play with those goals will be made tonight. Whataburger, what a shot of the game. The section with the most fans winning their votes will win.
Well, I think that anyone that is giving of themselves and giving either their money or their time to this foundation is helping us find a result, a positive result for what seems to be an endless battle. It's not going to stop both ways, and we just got to keep working until we can find an answer.
Please help us beat cancer. Log on right now to www.jimmyb.org. or call 1-800-4-JIMMY-B to donate. All donations benefit the V Foundation. for Cancer Research. John Beilein on his 9th year as head coach of Michigan, 38th as a head coach. And the college ranks, he's never been anything other than a head coach in his career.
Now, John Beilein has made the journey, no question about it. 38th year overall. 723 wins overall, including less than D1 schools, or non-D1 schools, I should say. 24 years in Division I. He's won 100 games in each of his stops: Canisius, Richmond, West Virginia, and now Michigan.
We're trying to get the maize and blue back to the NCAA tournament, but his biggest star is having a rough night to put him on.
Yeah, look, I mean, Karis LeVert is an 89% free throw shooter, was coming into this game, and you can tell he's thinking about the night that he had. But again, he hasn't really slowed down. He hasn't been woe is me. And if the pro scouts are coming here to see anything, they're seeing some character right now. In the face of a bad night, he's still giving some effort.
Nice hesitation for Moore to draw the contact. He waited on that, got hit. He'll be at the line with 7.5 minutes to go. We talked about the early departures and what might have been right now for Michigan. And a couple of these guys stayed around. There's a lot of talent here walking out the door.
Oh, 4 first-round draft picks, including 2 lottery picks. These are guys that were on a team that went to the final game against Louisville. And, you know, unfortunately, we haven't been able to kind of recreate. John Beilein hasn't been able to recreate that same chemistry and really bring in the same talent.
Michigan with runs to the Final Four in 2013, the Elite Eight in 2014. So back-to-back great seasons. Last year, did not go to the NCAA tournament. Hoping this year will be different, but getting a big-time speed bump here tonight in Dallas.
Yeah, and let's face it, you know, SMU, the way they're playing right now, and when you compare them to teams across the nation, a lot of people just totally written them off and forgotten about them because they can't play in the postseason. But I'll tell you what, they're probably as good as, you know, most of the teams ranked above them.
Shot clock at 14. Now handing it off here now for LeVert. Chapman off the bench. The lefty too strong there. The second effort now for the Wolverines.
I mean, it's a moot point when you talk about SMU and what they would do in the postseason because they can't go. But I think the way they're playing right now, and if they maintain this same attitude and had the chance to go, this is a team that can go far. I mean, if they could play and get the breaks that a lot of teams get to the Elite Eight, I think this is at least an Elite Eight team. The way they're playing now.
Right. Sterling Brown with a foul, a second. Dawkins shot short.
And a lot of folks would make fun of their schedule. You know, they beat Stanford at Stanford. They beat a very good Yale team. They beat TCU at TCU. So people haven't exactly said that they have played a tough schedule. But no matter, they're playing a representative team right now. And they're having their way with a 20-point lead.
They circled this game with a red marker. There's no question about that. They've talked about it for a little while. The students have too. They've been very aware it's Michigan. And not some of the other schools you've mentioned that they've already faced. Dunk down pass for Chapman, blocked by Moore, and they're going to have it.
And if people want to look at it another way, they've got a dominant point guard, and they've got outstanding perimeter shooters, and then they've got depth and size up front. And we've seen their depth at work right now. Marcus Kennedy, 6th man of the year last year, all conference, hurts his ankle in the first minute of the game. And what do they bring? Jordan Tolbert off the bench. He's got 23 points and 9 rebounds.
And it's a slam dunk show for him. Under 6 minutes to go, and this is the biggest lead tonight for the Mustangs, up to 20.
And I talk about a dominant point guard. That's what you need in the game of college basketball. And Nick Moore is that.
Loose ball back to LeVert. 5.5 remaining here. E.J. Wilson, big freshman, getting into the game. It's as if John Beilein says, well, I'm going to empty my bench. I'm going to see if someone can do something. That one will rattle in by Abdur Rahman, who's had a strong game tonight.
He certainly has. It began with him being the only penetrator in the first half that kind of got Michigan a lead. And now trying to at least have his team be representative.
Frazier with the kick. Here's Milton to the baseline. Frazier, the open shooter. Rebound tip that comes to Brown on the baseline, knocked out of his hands, and Michigan wins it back. 69-52. Rockman goes airborne. He'll draw contact as he goes down. He'll be at the line. Foul there by Sterling Brown. And will pick up his third personal. Boy, a lot of celebrities here aside from Ulen tonight. Just to look around the building and see a former United States president, first lady, and to see Tony Romo here. And Jenna Parsons is here as well.
It's a hot ticket.
There's Tony. Been bending the ear of Fran Fraschilla all night. And Lobster Guy's here. We're certainly hoping he's walking home. I wasn't real fond of my own transition there. We go from United States president to Lobster Guy in 10 seconds. Abdur Rahman at the line. 14 points. That is a career high for him, 15. He comes from a serious basketball family. His dad's a Division III coach in Pennsylvania. His brother played collegiately. LeVert drives it and scores it.
And I'll tell you what, at this point in time, SMU cannot be satisfied, okay, we had a 20-point lead. Because when you shoot the way that Michigan can shoot, all you need is to give them a little daylight. There's 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. Teams have come back from bigger margins before, bigger deficits.
By the way, the first field goal made tonight by Karis LeVert. That's pretty amazing. Okay. Lenny, we thought when Marcus Kennedy went down in the first minute of play with a turned ankle and had to leave, that might be a huge issue for the Mustangs. But a young man by the name of Jordan Tolbert took over from there and took off.
Certainly did, and again, his teammates looked for him, able to execute well, moved without it, made himself available so often that he got the high percentage shots just about every time he touched the ball. And again, we talked about Jordan Tolbert transferring from Texas Tech, set out last year. And I think that's delusional, but you know, that's how you feel right now. They got to finish this game first.
Yeah. Still 4 minutes plus to go, but Tolbert has 23. His career high is 27.
I guess when you're in college, you can dream a lot, you know.
That's what you're here to do, right?
Exactly.
Dream and dream big. Moore doubled up. Shot clock to 7. Nick Moore with it. Shot clock down to 3. Got to get a shot in the air. He does. And hits it. Is he ever a cool customer?
Yeah, when the shot clock's running down and you got a point guard like Nick Moore, put it in his hands. He can make a play for himself or make it for someone else.
The swing for Wilson. He'll let fly. Rebounded away by SMU, and the Mustangs in great shape here, leading 71-55. Under 3.5 to go, and it hit the threes. 8 out of 15. Michigan 9 for 30 beyond the three-point line. Frazier off the double team, turns it over. Robinson, yes. Like we said, that is a layup for him. Came into the game hitting 59.5% beyond the three-point line. He's 5 out of 7.
And I'll tell you what, you can't concede anything. And I said it earlier, the way Michigan shoots right now, your SMU, you cannot be complacent with the ball. And there again, outstanding execution. Robinson knows where to go. You know, beyond the arc, that's his neighborhood.
Remember, he went to a Division III school out of Phillips Exeter, New Hampshire. He went to Williams College. And then after a year, he transferred to Michigan when John Beilein called him and gave him that full ride. But out of high school initially, he had no scholarship offers. No one was interested. It's amazing.
I don't think anybody went to see him. You give John Beilein and his scouting group credit for taking a look at him. You see, he's the hot man over the last 3 games. And tonight, 5 of 7 from beyond the arc.
So 3:07 remaining, and it tightens up to 71-58. Question is, will it be too little too late for Beilein and Michigan?
And again, talking about Duncan Robinson and how he got to Michigan, how many coaches go to Division III school to take a look at talent? I guess they will now.
Yeah, the coach at Williams actually left the school, and he had been on Beilein's staff in Michigan, so he knew all about Robinson. But those connections are how those great stories are often made. Brown running the baseline. Robinson on hit. They do get it in. Moore brings it across. Thrown into the corner. Tolbert has to save it. Pops it up for Robinson. So Michigan turns it over. They have momentum on their side right now. They really need LeVert in a bad way. He won't shoot it. Robinson will. He can't stick it. And you really feel like the way this game, a foul here, the way this game is beginning to be played down the stretch, that's a meaningful miss.
Yeah, it certainly is. And, you know, you can view that pass by LeVert 2 different ways. One, he was feeling the weight of such a bad night, but also he was giving it to probably the best 3-point shooter on that team. So I don't know what to make of it, but it's a moot point.
I mean, LeVert's a guy who hits 49% from 3-point territory. Robinson had made that, would be a 10-point game. Moore's at the line for a 1-and-1. This is Ben Moore, makes 58%, but hits the first.
You take a look right here. Ball swings around the horn, actually goes back inside out. LeVert passes it to Robinson, who's got a wide open shot. Nick Moore was there to contest the shot, even though LeVert's got about 5 inches on him. And I would say LeVert did the right thing, giving it up, because Robinson was wide open.
73-58. Ben Moore has a 10-rebound game here tonight. It's been another huge part of the narrative of this one, the rebounding advantage for SMU. That one clangs off the side of the backboard by Zach Urban. Milton down the lane. Bounced ahead for Abdur Rahman. LeVert. Abdur Rahman's jumper.
Now see, that's where LeVert makes a mistake. He's got a 5'10" guy on him. He's isolated on the side. He should have just taken Nick Moore to the basket for a 2-point shot instead of looking for the 3. That's when he has to think as a basketball player.
I think you're right. And Michigan did have a window there to cut in. A quick strike by Ben Moore. Certainly feels like the absolute put away there. 75-58, under 2 minutes to go.
Dave, a moment ago you mentioned Ben Moore with the 10 rebounds. I think even bigger with a 5 assists, or at least that's big.
Really had a fine floor game. A Saturday on ESPN at 3:15, Kentucky squares off with Arizona State. Then in a journey to the tourney game presented by Sonic, it's North Carolina taking on Texas. Both games also streaming live on Watch ESPN. Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman at the line, 6'4" sophomore. He says the one athlete he hopes never retires is Cristiano Ronaldo, great soccer star. Minute 49 to go. Aubrey Dawkins trying to get back into the fray here for John Beilein. Dawkins said that he hopes Kobe Bryant never retires, so he's heartbroken. 15 points. He's been one of the few bright lights tonight for Michigan. Can't hit that foul shot. So the big crowd here in Dallas will continue their celebration. They've been celebrating all night long because these are the games and the moments they have to celebrate.
You can hear them with the chant now, the pride of SMU.
Over the drive, tipped up and in by Brown. No postseason because of the NCAA sanctions for the SMU Mustangs. So they circle games like these against Michigan on their calendar. And the games inside the American Conference coming up. And some of those are going to be real battles.
I can see right now the matchup with Cincinnati and UConn, among others.
Robinson around and out. And a whistle underneath, but 54 seconds to go. Now Marcus Kennedy had to leave the stage because of a turned ankle just a minute in, but SMU, even without him, rolled. Sports Center is coming up next, so stay right where you are. Karis LeVert tonight with just 5 points. Well, that man, Jordan Tolbert, lit it up. Spectacular game of 23, making 11 of 12, most of those on dunks. 10 dunks for Tolbert.
Some of them were created by Tolbert, good footwork, slipping a pick, but others were created by pinpoint passing, particularly by Nick Moore and to a certain extent Ben Moore.
LeVert wants to keep it, tries to hook it off the glass. Rebound tapped out high to Frazier. Frazier on the drive and the whistle. No basket. But Frazier fouled with 38 seconds to play. 78-58. SMU back out in front by 20.
And that last play was demonstrative of how dogged the SMU defense has been against Karis LeVert. Whether it's the quickness and the length of Keith Frazier, or that time with Ben Moore, his length and foot quickness, LeVert really never got open looks. And when he did, he was so saddled with an offer that some of those open looks didn't fall. And mercifully, John Beilein gives an opportunity to sit. But again, I give him points for character. Never quit, still gave the effort, didn't sulk.
And certainly had the worst night of his season. And the senior will have to think about this one for a while. 80-58 SMU, still getting a lot of pats on the back, a lot of support from his coaches and his teammates.
Yeah, he is absolutely a better player than what we saw. Credit SMU and their defense as much as anything, as they loaded up and pretty much took him out of it.
Wagner, no one there in the corner as Mo Wagner, the freshman, tapped it out of play.
And that to me was the absurdity of what we're seeing in college basketball too often, even on the pro level. A 7'1" guy in front of the basket looking to kick it back outside without even looking.
On the run out, will lay that one in to lengthen it out to 82-58. So in the end, it's a runaway for the Mustangs over the Michigan Wolverines. Final seconds here in Dallas, and the number 19 team in the country. There are a lot of schools in America that will look at SMU and say, thank goodness they're not going to be in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, the way they executed today on both ends of the floor against a pretty good Michigan team just tells you, one, they were making a statement, but more importantly,